Good morning, everybody. Today, I want to share a quote with you from St. Augustine that comes from a book by David Kind that provides all kinds of great resources for daily devotional life. Readings, prayers, hymns, and quotes from sermons and things like that from the church fathers. It's just an absolutely wonderful resource that I was given as a gift this year and that I've really enjoyed using. And here's a quote. And I'm looking a week ahead. So this is based on the readings that are not for this coming Sunday, but the following. And it's on the Good Samaritan. And I want to read it to you. Maybe think you've got everything figured out when it comes to the Good Samaritan, but good old St. Augustine may surprise you with a few things here. I am not going to read even the whole quote, much less the whole sermon to you. And that's mainly because if you were looking at it, it would make sense if I try to read it to you. I think some of the language might get in the way. So I kind of apologize for not paraphrasing, but for not reading the whole thing. But I think it'll be easier to understand, and it's certainly worth considering. So again, this is St. Augustine in one of his sermons many, many years ago about the parable of the Good Samaritan. He says, "You have something in yourself which you should be slapping." Isn't that a great way? I promise I won't take a lot of breaks, but isn't that a great way to start a sermon? I've got to try that sometime. You have something in yourself which you should be slapping, but you're sleeping. You observe your neighbor outside as someone to quarrel with, your partner, your companion, your joint owner. What you don't observe, don't see, is that other thing. That other law in your members, fighting back against the law of your mind and taking you prisoner to the law of sin which is in your members. So he's saying, you got no problem with fighting with your neighbors, but the real fight is with yourself, with your own sinful self. It needs a good slap. Right? So that's how he starts. He considers that I am skipping a little bit of a part here, but then he considers what our reaction may be to that. And he says this. He says, but kind of speaking for us and our possible objections to what he said. He says, "But I take delight in justice." Augustine responds, "I know that you do. After all, you delight in the law of God according to the inner self. But you can see another law in your members. You take delight in the law of God, but there's another law in your members, and you live by it, you'll die by it. Robbers have left you half dead on the road, but you've been found lying there by the passing and kindly Samaritan. Wine and oil have been poured into you. You have received the sacrament of the only begotten Son. You have been lifted onto his mule. You have believed that Christ became flesh. You have been brought to the inn, and you are being cured in the church." I love that. And then Augustine says, very personally, that's where and why I'm speaking. This is what I do, what all of us preachers are doing. We are performing the duties of the innkeeper. Isn't that interesting? We are performing the duties of the innkeeper. The innkeeper was told, if you spend any more, I will pay you back when I return. Right? That's what the Samaritan said. That's what Jesus says. If you spend any more, I will pay you back when I return. Augustine says, if only we spend at least as much as we have received. But however much we spend, brothers and sisters, it's the Lord's money. We are your fellow servants. We live on what we feed you with. Nobody should give us the credit for the benefits bestowed. We'll be bad servants if we don't do it. But if we do it, we shouldn't arrogate any credit to ourselves, because we aren't doing it with our property. Let us all love him, all esteem him, and for his sake, all love and esteem one another. We all have one King. May we all reach the one kingdom. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. I wanted to share it with you today. God bless you all. God bless your week.